Alright, we are back here. I'm just going to walk back through how to get the vectors from the file inserted in here. I'm going to do this twice actually for the image I'm creating in this. I'm switching up images as I go through this tutorial, but it's all the same process in the end, so don't worry about it. I'm going to import my bitmap, so I click on that little birdie up there. I'm going to select the letters. I'm actually going to do this again twice. Here is one image that I want. I'm going for two images here because I'm going to sort of stack them, rotate them. So you'll see a little extra here, which would be good. I got the MT09 logo. This is for a motorcycle for any of you who are curious as to what I'm making here. And I'm going to go right over here to the trace bitmap. I'm going to start by selecting this. And again, black and white right here. That's what I'm looking for. You might need to adjust this threshold if there's any sort of grayscale or any sort of scaling that's going on. You could do colors, but that gets a little bit more complex pretty quick because you'll be checking boxes and whatnot. If you're sticking with something really simple like a black and white image, this is the best way to go. Then we come down to the bottom right about here where we see preview. I'm going to select preview, and I'm going to notice that it puts up these little black lines around it. That's what's going to be left at the end of all this. I'm going to select apply. Then I'm going to go over to this image here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hit preview and then apply. And then I'm actually going to close out of this trace bitmap window. I'm going to select this close button right here. Now I'm actually done with the pictures. That's it. That's all we need them for. Delete. Go over here. Delete. And I'm going to actually select this. Now, if you have a trademark logo or something like that that you want to wipe out, your easiest way to do that would be to select the image. There's the image. You don't want to select everything. I'm going to go to ungroup. I select ungroup, and then these all become individual vectors. I want to get rid of this rectangle going around. I also want to get rid of this small little MT09 logo right there. So I'm just going to select those. A quick little pro tip. If you go from right to left, going across the screen, it only grabs whatever you are entirely encompassing, but if you go from left to right, it'll grab things that you're even partially encompassing. So I'll grab all of these without grabbing all of them, or dragging the rectangle around all of them by dragging from right to left. I can delete that. I want to go back in here and regroup this though. So, cell phone stand. I've got this. This is one item. This is another item. What I'm going to want to do real fast is just rotate this around. If I hold the Alt key when I rotate it, it'll rotate it and lock it at a perfect 90. If you're not doing that, you have a rotation button right over here to the left. Select angle, make that -90. Apply, and I rotate it the wrong way. So I can hit undo, type in 90, and I should rotate it to the left. I'm going to do the same thing with the MT09 lettering there. So I'm going to go save at this point. And that's just tracing the vectors. Now if you want to move all this stuff, which you probably do, I'm going to walk through that real fast. We're going to start by selecting all of this. I'm going to click this centering icon right over here on the far left. Align selected objects. I'm just going to click the white checkbox in the top center, and it moves everything together. I want this MT09 logo to go above my lettering, and I'm not overly concerned right now about the size. I'm going to adjust that. This is just a really cool tip. This rectangle here is about 5 inches tall. You can see that right here. You don't need to adjust anything there. It's going to seem counterintuitive at first, but I'm going to select this logo here. I want the X and Y linked, so leave that box checked. But my Y, I'm going to start off by just making that 5, which is the same height as the part. Then what I'm going to do is type in a percentage. Now, any percentage between 65 and 75% is going to work really well. I personally like 68. Select 68. And I'm going to do the same thing for the MT09 lettering. Make it 5 inches tall, because this is 5 inches tall. Apply. And then I'm going to switch it down to 68 inches. I suppose I could have actually just looked at the height of this, 3.4 inches, and I could have done the same for that, 3.4 inches. It gives a nice sort of feel of a ratio. Then what I'm going to do is click Save. I want this to be centered vertically on here, so I can select this white box again, right there, and I'm going to click this far right up-down icon. Go to this one, far right, and make it centered vertically up-down. Now I'm just going to move this to the left a little bit. If you move it to the left and you have to recenter it, by all means feel free to do so. If you're using a keyboard, you can hold the Alt key and move them together. Looks good. Simply put, looks good. If you want to be really exact and get them centered a certain way, you can do that. For me, that's good enough. I'm going to hit close there. I'm going to click Save. And we are basically set to export this. I'm going to do that in a separate video because that's very commonly done. And this is just more so laying out the vectors and getting everything set up. So we'll see you next time.